Let's make it last forever. Baby, let's party all night. Let's make it last forever.
What's cracking, guys? It's SuperKamiGuru9000. I'm Corey, and joined with me is Christian, and this is our review of Naruto Chapter 560.
Hey everybody, okay, so Naruto chapter 560 starts off with Madara and a lot of questions. He wants to know who the hell's controlling him, why are all the clans working together, and who is this Kabuto guy? And that's pretty much the beginning of the chapter.
Now that Madara has finally been summoned, you know, he's not a stupid character. He realizes that someone had to have summoned him, and it's implied at first that he believes it was Toby is the one who has summoned him, and then we get more reinforcement with this when Kabuto interjects. And he's basically controlling Mu to talk to him and everything. And he's basically letting Madara know, I've summoned you in your prime, or actually beyond your prime. You're even stronger than you were before. And Madara's like, oh, you've actually seen this before? Kabuto's like, well, not really. I'm just going to let you loose on the battlefield and see what you can do. And that's where a really cool part of the chapter begins, where we get to see Madara's true abilities. And we get to see him attack the Shinobi Alliance with pretty much full force. He begins, obviously, with a huge fire technique, which is basically like this giant firewall that just decimates everything. But luckily, the Shinobi Alliance has a group of water ninja that are able to block it. But that doesn't matter. A huge, bit of mist has appeared all over the battlefield, and this has given Madara a chance to just run around everybody and tear them up. He actually steals a sword from one of the Shinobi Alliance guys, and then just starts cutting up like all of them and everything. It's really, really cool. And before you can get any further, Inoki and Naruto decide that they need to stop this guy quick. So they do like this really cool combination technique where Inoki makes this giant piece of earth come out of the ground under Madara, and then Naruto comes from above with his Rasengan, and they're actually going to sandwich down on top of him. And it's really, really cool looking, and they actually do hit him. Unfortunately, Madara also has a Susanoo, and it looks freaking awesome.
Okay, so Uchiha Madara's Susanoo is pretty much the most awesome Susanoo we've seen in the whole series so far. If you can't tell, it's double-sided, so it has hand and sword doubled up on its Susanoo, and it has horns, and it didn't have to form at all. It just instantly appeared next to Uchiha Madara. So we can obviously tell this guy's good at using it. And now that he's Edo Tensei, he doesn't have to worry about like anything hurting him at all physically to his body. And at this point, Naruto and Gaara start attacking him. Gaara does a really awesome move and like ties up the Susanoo with his hand and then pulls Uchiha Madara out of the Susanoo. And at this point, Naruto strikes him with his Rasen Shuriken in Sage mode, which is awesome to see used some more. And right at this point, Uchiha Madara gains the ability of the Rinnegan.
Bullshit!
So the Sharingan never ceases to amaze. You know, it wasn't enough that this eye technique was really, really powerful before, but now we have a little bit more confirmation behind the Rinnegan. Apparently, the Rinnegan is like the pinnacle of the Sharingan technique. In other words, if you're able to master everything the Sharingan has, you apparently can obtain the Rinnegan, and this is just plain ridiculous. This basically means that Madara can switch from his Sharingan eye to his Rinnegan eye in the, blink of an eye. Anywho, take a drink when I say I. The point is, he's really, really powerful now, and he's able to use the techniques like the 6 Paths of Pain, and he displays this at the end of the chapter when he uses this incredibly overwhelming technique of crazy proportions. It basically looks like a Chibaku Tensei, except that it's a lot bigger. It's basically a giant meteorite that's just about to slam on the Shinobi Alliance, and you can see that everybody's just completely freaked out by this. Even Naruto, who's brimming with confidence, is a little freaked out by this. And this is where the chapter comes to a really just nutty close.
Naruto chapter 560. It was an amazing chapter if you like Uchiha action. Oh my gosh, we got everything we would have ever wanted to confirm that Madara Uchiha is a complete badass, and he's pretty much mastered everything the Uchiha has to offer, and we haven't seen his Susanoo do like range form or any of its shields, but I'm sure he has like 5 or 6 of every kind, on his Susanoo, and he just was tearing everything up, and Naruto and Gaara threw their best stuff at him, and they were smart and everything, and it just did not work. And now with this giant meteor, it's just, like, what the heck do you do against that? Like, Naruto's got no chakra left to do another Rasen Shuriken. Gaara could, push sand at it, Like, what's that going to do? And, no one's got any chakra left, so... What'd you think, Corey?
Yeah, Madara was basically, arguably the highlight of the chapter. He showed off a lot of really Stereotypical but cool Uchiha techniques. Opening up a fire was pretty classy.
Standard Uchiha.
Yeah, I really like the way it looked though. I like how they displayed how like wide and the firewall went, just to show yeah, he's using a fire technique, but look at the scale he's using it on. When he was just fighting hand to hand with everybody, taking the dude's sword and cutting
Just
everybody
tearing
up.
everyone up.
Showing he's competent swordsman and everything, using his Sharingan and everything. And then the whole bit with the Rinnegan, that was really the kicker for me. Before the whole Rinnegan thing, they sort of explained that it was like one of the three eyes. So that was like Byakugan, Sharingan, and Rinnegan. And now they make it seem as if Rinnegan is like the final evolution stage in the Sharingan. And I don't know, that just seems weird to me. I don't know. Maybe they'll explain it a little bit more down the line. This chapter was really all about action more than it was answers, which is
story.
Or yeah, that's what I was sort of really hoping for. That's not to say I didn't enjoy this chapter. I really liked it a lot. The action was cool, and again, Susanoo looked great. This is the coolest looking Susanoo by far. It's got the two heads and everything. It's got 4 arms. It looks really, really awesome. It looks really demonic looking. It's great. I mean, if that's one thing to like about this chapter, it really solidifies the fact that Madara is a badass.
And the thing that you were saying about the story not being really progressed, that's something I really saw too. I was hoping for some progression in the Toby Madara mystery, because we're now getting to the point where that is at the forefront of the story and something that they want answers to immediately, and we have like main characters like working on this problem. So I think really soon we may actually know who Toby is. And
Yeah, I hope we do.
Yeah, definitely. And that's probably what we thought of Naruto Chapter 560. It was a good one. But wait, one more thing. I kind of think that this chapter should have been switched with last chapter, because I think this one would have been a better 10 chapter, like 559 was. Like
460 seems like it should have had a bigger reveal for something a little more monumental. The reveal of Madara was arguably, I think, more impressive than him actually attacking. That's not to say his, abilities aren't cool to see. It's just, we've seen Fireball Technique. We've seen Susanoo before. We've seen Chibaku Tensei. We're now just seeing them on a really bigger scale.
Yeah, that's all it really was, is like, look, it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still cool. It just wasn't, it couldn't beat the hype of the reveal of Madara Uchiha.
Mm-hmm. But, there's more to come in the coming chapters. Like he was saying, they're building up to something big here. We're going to get a huge reveal soon, so you never know what's going to happen. And with this huge, giant meteorite about to slam on the Shinobi Alliance, there's no telling if that's actually going to hit or if someone's going to be able to save them. It could be anybody. Personally, I think Itachi might show up.
Okay, so for Naruto 560, I want to give it the rating of 8.5. Or we have agreed on 8.5. I was kind of 9-ish, and Corey was kind of 8-ish, so 8.5 it is. And I think that this is not a 9 or a 10, mostly because we didn't get story progression. And I think I hold myself to the standard that if I'm going to rate something, it has to progress story as well as provide me with some entertainment. And this one was all about the entertainment and watching Madara Uchiha do things, not so much story progression besides him talking to Kabuto. So that's what I thought, why I'm okay with an 8.5 for this week.
I totally agree. 8.5 has got to be the way it is. No, there wasn't a very big reveal, but the action was really, really cool, and the anticipation just keeps growing for next week, especially with this huge technique that's coming. Anything can happen next week, and that's what made this chapter great. Alright guys, it's time for the question of the week. We want to know what you guys thought. Our question this week is, who is going to save them from this big-ass meteorite that's about to slam into the Shinobi Alliance? Is it going to be Naruto? Will Itachi show up? Maybe even Sasuke? You can let us know with your comments below. And if you just want to let us know what you thought about this week's chapter, you can leave your comments there as well.
Down there.
And before we let you guys go, we want to whore out some of our favorite videos to you. Some of our special projects, if you will. Now, robots kick ass, and I'm going to tell you why in my review of Gundam Age. It's the brand new Gundam anime series that just started, and I just reviewed the 2nd episode. You can find it in the annotation right up here.
Also, we have made a Halloween video this year. It's called Halloween Anime Gore Fest, and we just picked some of our favorite gory scenes from animes and just made this random Halloween video for you guys. Don't watch it if you don't like that kind of stuff, but honestly, if you don't mind it, then it's a really funny, fun video to watch, and it's got a cool Halloween theme. Also, check out my friend Manga Reader Z, and I'll leave you with a clip right here. Check out his profile, and he's a funny dude, and he does manga reviews, and he's starting to make random topic videos and life videos. They're all interesting and funny, and me and Corey have known him a long time, and he's a cool dude, so check him out. Peace, guys.
Talk about it. One Piece, by some people, is thought to be the greatest shit since sliced bread. I don't know about that. I don't eat One Piece. I eat fucking bread, though. Alright, and One Piece also is known as the greatest book ever written. Fuck that. The Bible is. Why? Because the Bible has sold more copies, and you can't have an opinion after reading the Bible. No one ever says, hey mom, how come Jesus never had character development? It's blasphemy.